Hey guys, 7 WWE Rocks here, and thank you for joining me on episode 29 of Saturday Night's Kickout. Now, we had a lot to talk about, not only just Raw leading up to Fastlane, it's going to be a Fastlane preview. Not going to go too much in depth because you probably already watched so many videos on Fastlane leading up to and such. And I missed the final hour of Raw. I'm going to talk about certain segments that happened there. So if I do mess up on a few things, if I mistake or I make some mistakes on the final hour of Raw, please correct me and forgive me too, because I probably will. But a lot of talk about. We got CM Punk being sued and Colt Cabana. You got Samoa Joe leaving TNA, and we're gonna hit some companies hits like I always do: Raw, NXT, TNA, and maybe a few other things along the way. But thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate you guys watching this. It's always fun to talk some wrestling and get some interaction in the comments section. So if you have any segments you want me to do, maybe like a certain segment to talk about each week, please let me know. If it's a good one, I will, give you a shout out, and I'll use it every week if it's good. So please let me, just talk about some segments I could do, make the show a little more interesting. Keep it like a weekly basis theme, because I would like to do that segment each week, or something, fun I could do every now and then. So, but let's get right into it. We're going to talk about Samoa Joe and basically him leaving TNA now. You guys all know he left TNA. His contract expires. The Beatdown Clan is in need of an enforcer. I don't really see him as an enforcer really as of now on TV, because it seems like kind of all of them are enforcers. They just beat the crap out of everybody. I feel like an enforcer should be the one guy that, beats up somebody. You put a hit, the leader puts a hit on him, and boom, that guy's out because the enforcer. I don't really see Samoa Joe doing that. He's a freaking boss, but the entire group attacks people. It's not just one guy, and I think the enforcer type guy should be like, here, I'm going to take this guy into an alley. You're never going to see him again. So, but instead of doing like top 5 dream matches I want to see, I am going to be doing dream matches, but I'm going to, because really we have no idea. He could go to any company and I'd be perfectly fine. So I'm going to actually hit on WWE, NXT, PWG, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm going to say matches I would like to see him do if he did join that company. Oh, yeah, and Lucha Underground as well. So let's get right into it. We're going to go with NXT. A lot of people, speculation, Triple H has been saying he's interested in Samoa Joe. Mick Foley and Stone Cold said he would be great to pick up and bring to NXT. A lot of people are saying, he doesn't need NXT. Why would he be there? He needs to go straight to the main roster, which I agree with. But let's think about this. Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Kevin Owens, none of them needed NXT, I believe. If they got over all around the world, I'm pretty sure you could have sent them to the main roster and they'd be over as well. But it still blows my mind that Sami Zayn has been in NXT for 2 years, over 2 years, I would think. Kevin Owens, he's coming up pretty fast with already winning the championship, so that gives me hope that he's going to be up in the main roster soon. But let's just say Samoa Joe does go to NXT. Here's matches I would like to see him with. I'd like to see him with basically the people I just named off. Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Solomon Crow. I would love to see him and Solomon Crow and Samoa Joe face off. Sami Zayn. Hideo Itami. I mean, him and Kenta had amazing battles in Ring of Honor. Adrian Neville. And let's say he goes to the WWE. Let's say he moves up from NXT, goes to WWE. I would love him to see face Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Triple H, and John Cena. The Golden Boys. Maybe Randy Orton, stuff like that. But those are some guys I would love to see. NXT, I have a lot more guys. If I forgot any, it's literally I made this list, just thought it up. I didn't even look at the roster or anything. I was just here, pull up, or I'm just going to think about some matches and see from there. So those are the matches I'd like to see if he went to NXT or WWE. If he went to Ring of Honor, which I'm really hoping he does, it'd be really exciting. I would like to see him versus ACH. I think that'd be a cool matchup. ACH is freaking so awesome, and I think just the brute power of Samoa Joe versus the speed and agility of ACH would be really good. Maybe he even fights for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, faces Jay Briscoe. Another match I'd really want to see, I think, would be so good. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. I think that'd be amazing. And Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. I think that match would be really good. Let's move on to PWG. If he went to PWG, not saying full-time, but let's say he does go to Ring of Honor, and then he also goes to PWG or something of those sorts. Maybe he just runs around the indies for a little. PWG, maybe he fights for the title, goes after Roderick Strong. I think him and Strong could put on a freaking crazy, mind-blowing match. Christopher Daniels, maybe even a possible three-way, Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels versus Frankie Kazarian. I'm still surprised they haven't done AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. Maybe it's been done so much they don't even want to like go for it. Maybe if he wants to put over a guy, Trevor Lee, I think that'd be cool. And last but not least on the PWG list, Chris Hero. I think his elbow shots and Samoa Joe just being, brutal. It'd be a freaking cool match to see. Moving on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not the biggest New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. I love it. Anytime I watch it, I've been amazed. But I just haven't been able to follow it as much, and I know a lot of people follow it a lot more. So if you have some better guys on my list, then please let me know in the comment section. There was one guy that people kept bringing up, and I just totally forgot his name, and I'm not really that familiar with him. But I'm going to go with Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. I mean, come on. I would love to see that again. The Rainmaker Okada versus AJ Styles or versus Samoa Joe. I think that'd be cool. Kenny Omega versus Samoa Joe. I think that'd be really sick. I'm such a big fan of Kenny Omega right now. And Shinsuke Nakamura, I think that would be amazing. His freaking knee strikes against Samoa Joe, I think that'd be really cool to see. And if he goes to New Japan Pro Wrestling and maybe joins the Bullet Club, then I would like that. I know a lot of people that follow New Japan Pro Wrestling a lot more than I do say no, they don't want him in the Bullet Club, or they are kind of not liking the Bullet Club as much now. A lot of people are getting annoyed and pissed off by them, which I totally understand. But in my opinion, I don't get to watch that much. But if, when I do, I would like to see him join the Bullet Club. But, the New Japan, the people that follow a lot more, they know what they're talking about. I really don't. So I would love to see him join the Bullet Club. But whatever happens with Samoa Joe, I think he's going to do freaking amazing. And last but not least, Lucha Underground. I would like to see him versus Prince Puma, a.k.a. Ricochet, Brian Cage, the Battle of the Brutes, just let them go at each other, just killing each other. And Johnny Mundo or John Morrison versus Samoa Joe. I think that'd be a great match. And, yeah, that's my list. Please, in the comment section below, let me know who you would want Samoa Joe to face. And, yeah, in any company, just any company you think. Some people are speculating he might join House of Hardcore for their big event in March 7th, I think, maybe the 8th. Maybe he joins House of Hardcore. Maybe he joins, TNA. PWG, Ring of Honor, all these places. Wherever he goes, I think he's going to do great. And so I'm really excited to see where he does go. And I wish him the best. Samoa Joe's awesome. So in the comment section below, let me know where you want to see Samoa Joe go. And who do you want him to face? We're going to get into Raw. Not hit on too many segments. Give that Fastlane preview. Basically, Cena and Rusev to push their storyline. Cena basically killed Rusev. Just took him out. Just continually beating him, literally pulled up his face, punched him, pulled it back up, punched him, pulled it up, punched him, and then did an anti-bully campaign after. No, he didn't do that. But I thought it was funny. I was like, he's not doing that be a star campaign thing real good. He's killing Rusev. So Rusev versus Cena, Cena has the upper hand now. And so that makes me think Rusev's going to look better at Fastlane. I'm not saying he's going to pin or make Cena tap out by any means, but I think it'll be, like my prediction said, a double disqualification or a double count out, and then the match will probably happen at WrestleMania again. But I see Rusev looking very strong after Fastlane. Moving on, Stardust finally turned on Goldust, hit the Crossroads, which I was really happy to see. He didn't hit it as Stardust. I don't think he did hit it as Stardust, but he hit Crossroads, and they're going to have a match. I said my predictions that Stardust was going to win. I could see very well Goldust was winning, but my mindset was a lot of people probably thought it was stupid for me to pick Stardust to win the match at Fastlane, but my mindset is Stardust wins, and then Goldust is like, if I can't beat you, what am I doing here? Kind of like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 24 type deal. Goldust says that, if I can't beat you, I should just quit. Maybe puts his career on the line. Maybe both of them put their careers on the line. Dusty's the ref at WrestleMania, and the rest is history. I don't know, something like that. But I'm glad Stardust is finally going his own way. I kind of want him to turn back to Cody, but maybe Goldust leaves and Cody just keeps the Stardust gimmick for him. I don't know. Basically, Darren Young, he returned with a local competitor to first the Ascension. And it was, cool to see Darren Young back. We haven't seen him in a very long time. Basically, him and the Ascension basically just beat the crap out of him and his local competitor. The local competitor guy got thrown out, and it was a 2-on-1 beatdown on Derek Young. And then who comes out? Titus O'Neil, the real deal, freaking Titus O'Neil. And primetime players reunion. I'm totally fine with that. There was that one time when they were with Abraham Washington when they were literally really close to winning the tag team titles, and then Abraham Washington said that Kobe Bryant line thing, and he got fired, and then that screwed him. But they really haven't been doing anything with Titus O'Neil. Him and Slater Gator, him and Heath Slater teamed up. But primetime players, I think, will be taken more seriously, and maybe even have a run at the tag titles. I think that'd be cool to see. And they weren't doing anything with either of them, so yeah, put them together. Triple H and Ric Flair had a segment. Now, if you don't remember, last Sunday, my dreams were broken by Ric Flair. He totally just ignored me when I met him, and it was an awful experience. So I vow, never again will I say WOO. I will never say that ever again. And Triple H is my personal favorite now, but because basically Ric Flair and him were, talking about it. Ric Flair was saying, you shouldn't take Sting lightly, and Triple H said that thing where he was like, after WWE killed WCW, Sting disappeared, and a lot of wrestlers, specifically with TNA, got really pissed. Taz got pissed because, apparently if you go to TNA, you just disappear, which I get it. WWE's never going to mention them. He's never going to say, they're never going to say TNA. They're never going to acknowledge him, acknowledge the company. And, it's, somebody just got to swallow your pride, and just, it's not going to happen. I mean, TNA does it because I feel like for some of their guys, to make them more relevant, they got to be like, hey, this guy was from WWE. Mike Knox came in Ace and Eights. They said, hey, it's Mike Knox from WWE. So it made him look like, he came from WWE. He can be something big now, instead of just bringing him in as some random guy and pretending he's not part of WWE, which I like. I mean, it has its positives, it has its negatives. But basically, Triple H and Triple H and Ric Flair were talking. They were getting into it. Ric Flair was like, I better not see you on your butt when I turn on Fastlane. I better not see your butt on the ground. And Triple H got really pissed off by that, shoved Ric Flair. And when I read about that and watched it online, I was like, that's my boy, Triple H. Freaking love him. No, but Ric Flair pissed me off, if you hadn't noticed. But yeah, Triple H shoved Ric Flair, and then Ric Flair walked out after. Triple H was like, I'm killing Sting. Woo. So, dang it, I said woo. Dang. But Triple H, Sting confrontation leading up to their match at WrestleMania. I'm excited. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll get physical. I don't know if they'll start fighting. Sting only has 6 days on his contract. Not days, but he only has he can appear 6 times. He's already appeared twice. Survivor Series and then a Raw, I believe. That's the only time he's appeared. So he's used up 2 already. Fastlane will be a 3rd. And then I'm guessing 2 times on Raw, and then WrestleMania. I mean, that's kind of tough. He's going to have to play a lot of mind games. They're going to have a lot of fake Stings, I'm guessing, in the coming weeks of Raw leading up to WrestleMania. But I'm excited for the confrontation. It should be good. It's Sting and Triple H. And I'm excited for Sting to finally speak in WWE. Next, Reigns and Bryan, they brawled to end Raw, which was pretty good. Actually, I liked it. I watched it on YouTube, where they shook hands. The refs were pulling apart Drake Younger, or Drake Wirtz, or what he's going by in NXT. He was one of the refs. He broke it up, so shout-outs to Drake. That was awesome to see him. But Bryan and Reigns had to calm down. They had beaten up Big Show or Kane or something. I don't know. They shook hands. They were like, oh, we're good. And they just went at it after that. They were beating the crap out of each other, which was a really good way to go. And I'm excited for the match, but Reigns is going to look strong. I mean, I feel like we can all agree on that. Moving on, NXT. Now, NXT, after TakeOver, I literally could not think it could get any better. And then it has, not like an amazing show. It wasn't like this show wasn't better than the special event, for NXT. It wasn't better than TakeOver Rival. But storyline-wise and the new faces and stuff, I'm just so excited to see what's to come from NXT. Basically, some random jobber guy came out, and he was like, I'm going to win my match, guys. Yeah, and no one knew who he was. And Rhino's theme hit. And Rhino came out, the best reaction I could have asked for. It was so great to see. He looked really excited and just looked like he was having a good time. gored the freaking crap out of the local jobber or whatever, pinned him, and the fans were just great to see Rhino back. I freaking love that. I think that's awesome. Yes, a lot of people were like, oh, when he was in TNA, you guys were like, oh, he's washed up, and now he's in WWE, and everyone's like, oh, he's the greatest thing ever. I liked when he was in TNA. When he came to help out EC3, I was like, yeah, Rhino, that's awesome. You know, do some crazy stuff. And then TNA went nowhere with it. They let him go. He was his bodyguard or enforcer, and they totally just screwed it up. Screwed it and dropped the ball on that. Rhino's in NXT to put people over, and he had a stare down with Finn Balor. So I'm hoping maybe one day Finn Balor versus Rhino. Finn Balor gets put over. That'd be really cool. But Rhino's in NXT, and I think that's freaking awesome. Just to be there, have good matches, and put people over, make them look good. Moving on, Solomon Crowe debuted CJ Parker basically came out and he was pissed off. He said, I deserve to be on TakeOver Rival. It's, you know, it's such a bad idea to not have me. So guess what? I'm going to take over TakeOver. So he pulled out yellow caution tape and started just pulling it out and putting on the ring ropes and spreading, like cutting the ring in half with tape. And I was like, what is this? And then it all got all glitchy and hackery and, you know, blah, 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 and everyone was like, what's going on? And CJ Parker was like, what is this madness? And it said, this is something. I forget what it said. But Solomon Crowe came out and attacked CJ Parker, beat the crap out of him. And the announcers were like, whoa, who is that? We don't know. And then they were like, oh, it's Solomon Crowe. I know exactly who that is. But I didn't 10 seconds ago. So Solomon Crowe beat the crap out of him. And then his finisher type deal was like he independent. So I'm glad he uses it. But he like jumps backwards into the rope and like slingshots himself back on and like lands on CJ Parker, which is cool. I really like that because he used it in you know, PWG Independence. I wish he would use the bicycle kick, but I'm guessing since Sheamus has, I like his bicycle kick. I think he makes it look so brutal. So that's Solomon Crowe. You know, the hacker and gimmick thing, I don't really get what they're doing with it, and I don't get it. You know, like they're gonna be, you know, filming the matches, and all of a sudden the camera's gonna break, and Solomon Crowe's gonna be like, hey, gotcha, or like hacking, you know, with his keyboard or computer or something. I don't know, but I don't care. And everyone's making fun of him, saying he looks like a troll. That's Solomon Crowe. He's supposed to look like a nut. He's like out of his mind, crazy, and I freaking love it. I think he's so great. Hopefully, him and Dean Ambrose, reunite and team up. They were the, what was it? Something Blade Conspiracy, Slick Blade, I think. I don't want to say that and everyone be like, oh, what is he talking about? But something, you know, they were a team in CW or something, and I'm excited to see them. They're both lunatics, so why not put them together? I think that'd be cool. But Solomon Crowe's in NXT. It's freaking awesome. Main event, Owens versus Neville. Now, this was a really good match. Like, I was really blown away by this. Both guys are awesome, but I was just like, dang, this match is good. And, you know, how they tape it is it's the next day after TakeOver. So it airs a week after TakeOver, but it was literally the day after they did this match, which blows my mind. They both had awesome matches at TakeOver, and then the next day they're putting on another awesome match for the network. So I think that's awesome. And Owens got the win. Neville did an amazing spot where Owens was laying down on the outside. Neville climbed up, or it was on the ring apron, did a 450 off the ring apron and landed on him. And I was just like, dang, that was cool. But Owens got the win, got the power bomb, and 1, 2, 3. So Owens is a freaking champion to be reckoned with. I can't wait for him and Zayn to have a rematch. This time, I think Zayn's going to be really pissed and just not dance to his music like last time. Just go after him and beat the crap out of him. Maybe add a stipulation. If Sami Zayn loses, he has to put on the mask and become El Generico again. No, but I'm excited for it, and NXT is great. I think it always comes through. You know, some nights, yeah, it's like too short matches, too much job matches, squash matches. NXT, I think, has so much great talent in the. Just judging from the tapings and seeing spoilers and stuff, we have next 3-4 weeks to look forward to, so I'm really pumped. Moving on Twitter, my buddy, it's at BlackoutALS, I believe. I really hope I didn't get that wrong, but it's a capital ALS, all one word, BlackoutALS. I believe that's what it is. Hopefully I'm wrong, or hopefully I'm not wrong. But he wanted me to talk about CM Punk and the doctor suing WWE doctor suing him. So yeah, the WWE doctor, Dr. Amann, Amann. I think that's how you spell it. But he's suing him. He's suing CM Punk and Colt Cabana. Yes, Colt Cabana. What did Colt do now? But he's suing both of them for like $2 million or something because they both made it sound like he's a bad doctor, and they like said he's a. The reason he's suing Colt Cabana is because Colt Cabana apparently said during the podcast that he's a lazy doctor, and Punk said that too. But I guess Colt just agreed with, I'm suing you. But basically, I'm probably not the best guy to talk about this. I don't know all this legal stuff, and the whole thing. It seems like it's gonna end really ugly, and I'm sure this is just the WWE doing this because Vince wants to make him look bad. I'm sure. I really don't buy into all that. I'm not mad at him and blah blah blah. I'm sure they're thinking, let's take him for all his money. Blah blah blah. Not all his money. He makes more than $2 million, but. I don't know if this thing's going to be really ugly and stuff. And WWE, they said, they're backing him up, which, of course, they're going to back up the doctor. But they said he never went to the doctor. There's no medical records. There's videotape from the Royal Rumble, which CM Punk said was the event where he had the baseball size staph infection, lump on his back. So WWE responds with posting the Royal Rumble videos and yeah, so they posted that like yesterday or something. So it's literally just Royal Rumble footage, 2014 Royal Rumble, and CM Punk, and they're just zooming in on his butt. So the only thing I can think of is the people that didn't know about this. They don't know about CM Punk or the doctor suing him, and they're just like, oh, WWE posted a Royal Rumble video, and they click on it, and they're just looking. They're like, whoa, that's CM Punk, man, and just zooms in on his arse, and they're just like. Oh, okay. And they're just like see clip after clip, just CM Punk's backside zooming in and on his just butt. So I'm just like, okay. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy. But I put this on Twitter. I have actual evidence. Now, I've been looking at pictures for hours on end. And I don't see a lump. I really don't. You guys see it? But I don't know, man. But the Royal Rumble, he said, apparently Punk said that it was just under his tight, so of course you couldn't see it during the footage. But then, and you can't, like on the Royal Rumble, it's like, yeah, there's nothing there. But then there's another picture that's surfacing online where it looks like a freaking baseball. It looks like, what's that movie? Alien. Yeah, it looks like the little monster thing coming out of him. And it's like coming out and just, it looks so gross. But so if they show that picture, WWE's in trouble because that looks like something is growing inside of him. It looks so bad. But, yeah, I'm just saying it's going to get ugly. I don't know who's going to win. And I wish they would just get past this and let the guy live his life. And, yeah, that's what I think. Moving on to TNA, Impact Wrestling. Now, Impact Wrestling has really been disappointing me. I'm not hating on it, you guys could be like, y'all, your name's 7W Rocks, all you do is hate on TNA. I hate on WWE too. Some of the stuff they do, I'm like, oh, what are they doing? But TNA, I can't get behind it. It's so just sometimes boring. And I only talk about a few segments here, but we're going to get through this together, guys. Basically, EY faced Tommy Dreamer. EY, I hate as a heel. Not hate him as a heel because he was good when he was with Kevin Nash and the heel X Division group or whatever. That was a good heel. That's good Eric Young heel. This heel, he just screams uncontrollably, and it's like, what are you doing? Like every sentence, he's like, ah, and I'm like, calm down, bro. But he versus Tommy Dreamer in a old school like street fight type deal, and apparently Eric Young was hungry and he bit Tommy Dreamer just right above the eye, was just biting on him, and just blood is gushing out of his head. So that was crazy. I was like, geez, this is intense. So TNA, I think, always does great with hardcore matches. I think they're always a brand, those crazy ones, Jeff Hardy, Abyss, Monsters Ball. They always put on great hardcore matches. So this was really good. EY picked up the win with a power or a pile driver. He does the like bounce one where he jumps up and boom, boing. And Eric Young, yeah, got the win. So that was a good match. I enjoyed that. What else? The Wolves and Matt Hardy versus the Revolution, which was Abyss, James Storm, and Koya, I believe. No, Abyss, James Storm, and Manic. Yeah, it was them. And That was a good match. That opened the show, and I was like, this is a good match, and it's like a wrestling match to start off the show. Yeah, Kurt Angle came out for like a minute and said, I'm going to win the Battle Royal, blah, 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 and left. And then it went right into wrestling. So I was like, this is good. And it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Then after that, I was just like, I don't know where this is going. Because Grado faced Al Snow. And, yeah, Grado versus Al Snow. Last week, I made fun of it for being the main event. I was told wrong. So that's my fault. I was told wrong. And I made fun of it for being the main event. It wasn't the main event. But I don't know. I like Grado. You might as well call me like a stupid American and blah blah blah. And you don't know what you're talking about. I still don't get the big thing about him. I know he's a comedy wrestler and such, but I don't know. He hasn't shown much comedy, and I don't know. They hyped. He did a cannonball move. You know, the one Kevin Steen does. He did that in the corner, and they like hyped it up. Like he did a 450 splash off a ladder. They were like, that was the greatest thing ever. And I didn't really care. It looked cool, but you know, you don't got to hype it up that much. And he beat Al Snow. Al Snow went for a moonsault, missed, and Grado hit a running boot. He literally kicked him in the face, and that was it. So I was like, well, that kind of finish sucked. I don't know why he's using that as his finisher, but yeah, hit him with a boot, and Grado gets Snow. Al Snow looks dumb, and yeah. And then the Beatdown Clan came out, and they beat down Grado and Al Snow. Get it, guys? Their name is Beatdown Clan, and I said they beat. All right, guys, I'll be here all week. But Grado and Al Snow are getting attacked, and they're getting attacked by, you know, the Beatdown Clan MVPs, Samoa Joe, Loki. They're beating the crap out of each other, and then a guy in a hoodie comes out, has a steel pipe, goes to hit. He like pushes off Kenny King and his like girly to hit Loki. Loki like ducks, and it looked like he didn't hit him at all. And I was like, dang, that looked like crap. I don't know what happened. And then I watched it again because of what was to come. But I watched it again, and it looks like he ducks literally the last second where he like slices up in his head because Loki was just busted open from like just pouring out on his side. They showed pictures, and it looked so gross. It looked like you could put your finger through it, and it would just come out the other end. But yeah, he cut him open really bad, which is kind of bad. But it was Drew Galloway, a.k.a. Drew McIntyre. That's awesome. He's TNA. I could really see him being world champion. I think he's a great talent. You know, big, tall guy. I'm happy about it. I think he's great, and I'm hoping he does really, really well. And yeah, I'm just excited that he's in TNA now, and he got a good pop from the Glass Glow. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that where it was at? I don't know. He had a good pop from the UK crowd. And then the gauntlet match, it was a 20-man gauntlet match. It was Battle Royal style. And basically it came down to the Beatdown Clan. It came down to MVP, Kenny King, Samoa Joe, and whoever I didn't say, Loki. Loki got stitched up. It was like 5 stitches, I think. Taz said it was like 20, but it was 5. But it still looked awful. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor. But I'm not going to sue him. But, you know, get it? WWE doctor sued CM Punk. All right. I'm just going to keep talking. Basically, it was the Beatdown Clan, and Kurt Angle is 4-on-1, and Kurt Angle, like, became John Cena. I mean, he threw out everybody except MVP, and then it looked like he was going to throw out MVP even when the Beatdown Clan guys stayed around. They stayed ringside. They were tripping up Angle and stuff, but MVP ended up getting the win, so now he gets a title shot against Bobby Lashley. I don't really care for it. I don't want to see MVP versus Lashley that much. All I do know is if MVP low blows Lashley and he sells it, I'm going to be extremely pissed because at Lockdown, MVP low blowed Lashley and he no-sold it. So no low blows. I don't want to see that from that group because if Lashley sells it, I'm calling BS. I am calling BS. But TNA, I just can't get into. I don't know. I'm trying to make it funny and enjoyable, but I can't get into it. I don't know. But you know, it wasn't an all bad show. Like, don't think I'm thinking the whole thing was bad. You know, EY versus Dreamer was good. And Hardy versus Revolution was awesome. So it has its positives. Match of the week, though, gotta give it to Neville and Owens NXT. I watched on Ring of Honor's website. It wasn't technically this week, so that's why I didn't include it. But I watched Young Bucks and Styles versus ACH, Matt Sydal, and Cedric Alexander, which was freaking phenomenal. And no pun intended, AJ Styles. But match was incredible. I freaking loved it. LGiant37303 on Twitter. He wanted me to, and on YouTube. He wanted me to talk about, do I want to see Moose versus Elgin in a rematch? I didn't watch that match when it happened on that episode. I just skipped to the main event because I was running out on time. Running out of time. No, I was loose on time. But Moose is a freaking, I mean, a lot of people are, my friend Squared Circle Sports, check out his channel. He really likes Moose. He says great talent. I really haven't watched much of him. I watched, I think, or I was at an event where he wrestled, and, you know, he's a big guy. So I heard it was a good match. So if it was a good match, yeah, let Elgin and him go at it again. Maybe a #1 contenders match of some sort. But I'm really excited for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I can't wait for I'm really trying to get it. I can't wait for the Super Kick Party to verse Red Dragon. Again, have a 5-star classic. Kick out segment. Now I talk about all the positives in wrestling. Now Raw. All right, moving on. No, I'm just kidding. It has positive, you know. I can't think of any right now, but Lucha Underground was kind of a bad episode, to be honest. But I've seen pictures of a steel cage match coming soon. Del Rio and that other guy, can't remember, are supposed to. I mean, it's not. I don't even think it's a rumor, but I'm thinking they're gonna fight for the AAA World Heavyweight Championship, and that's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm thinking they're gonna do that. Lucha Underground. I'm really excited for that. You know, PWG's announcing events. They got an event on the 27th, the day after my birthday. Remember, party at my house. Not really. Super Kick Party. But yeah, this is kind of a bad week. But we got a pay-per-view Sunday. FastLane. You know, I'm sure no matter what happens at that pay-per-view, people are going to be pissed. So I'm just going to try and enjoy a good night of wrestling. You know, just a fun pay-per-view. And then we have the Raw after to look forward to, which is the first Raw leading into WrestleMania. I'm thinking, I've been reading that Undertaker is probably going to be there, so I'm really excited to see Undertaker finally return. And, you know, everybody's saying, every time someone sees him in public, they're like, he looks like he's about to die right there, even though he's a dead man. But I'm excited to see Undertaker back. You know, that WrestleMania fever, the WrestleMania season, you know, I could care less about Reigns versus Lesnar, but it's still WrestleMania season. Big things happen, and I'm excited to see where the company goes. So, yeah, that's kind of all the positive I'm talking about. I'm trying to think of other stuff, but I just can't do it. Ric Flair sure ain't positive. I can tell you that much. Triple H, he shoved them, and I was so happy. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter @7WWERocks. Thank you for those 2 viewers that stayed along during this. I really do appreciate it. And remember, if you have any segment ideas, you know, keep the show going. You know, weekly based stuff where you can talk about, or I can do a certain segment. Please let me know. Just make the show more interactive, more fun, and maybe a segment you're like, oh, yeah, he's doing this segment. I'm looking forward to this. That's what I want this show to be. You just looking forward to every Saturday. Sit back, relax, watch me talk about wrestling. Like I act like I know what I'm talking about when we all know I don't. But I got 3 viewers, man. I think I should end on a high note. So thanks for watching. And I said all my stuff. And enjoy the rest of the weekend, guys. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you, guys.